Welcome back to New Record Day. My name is Ron, and today we are doing a video review of the Pass Labs Xp-15, and folks, this thing is no joke. Taking a look at the Pass Labs Xp-15 from the front, you are greeted with this really nice looking brushed billet aluminum. You've got the Pass logo engraved inside of the actual front faceplate. Really, there is no power button, there's no controls from the front. In fact, when you plug this unit, in from the back with the power cord, this unit stays on, and the only thing that you'll be seeing here is a small little blue LED that lights up once the unit actually receives power. And that's it for the front. Let's go ahead and flip it around and take a look at the business end. Alright, so taking a look at the back of the Xp-15, you have your power socket. You have a small little diagram here that shows you kind of what you're doing with your dip switches. So you have an idea, depending on which cartridge that you have that you're going to be using with this unit, what loading selections that you want to use, what capacitance values that you want to use, and what gain settings that you'll be using. And I'll be covering that a little bit more in detail in just a minute. Over to the right-hand side, you have high-quality RCA and XLR connectors along with your dip switches. You have a ground lug, of course. And I'm going to say that the only small, minor complaint that I have is these dip switches are teeny tiny, and every now and then as I was, trying a different cartridge out, I just found this to be a little bit difficult to use. Even right now, it's like you get in there and it's like, man, I have pretty small hands, and still I have some trouble with changing those dip switches. So if you have, ginormous monster hands, this might be something that's a little bit annoying. So maybe like a little tool or something to do that would make your life a little bit easier. Other than that, when you take a look at this, it's nothing but quality. While these dip switches are very small, I never had an issue with any malfunctions, with anything breaking, so it's definitely quality in and out. There's no question about that. Speaking of quality, let's go ahead and take the hood off and see what this thing has in the engine. Alright, so with the top off, folks, the very first thing that I wanted to give praise about is I have seen a couple of different really nice phono preamplifiers, and I pay close attention to the level of detail, the soldering joints, the way that the capacitors are laid out, and how level that they all are. This is the best work that I have seen, hands down, no doubt about it. If you have always been wondering, is Pass Labs just a pretty face and they're just slapping a bunch of stuff together and overcharging you, make no mistake about it, my friends, this is stunning work. There is not one soldering joint that looks funky. There is not any spills. There is nothing about this that would concern me or make me go, okay, I see what's going on here. These guys are a bunch of knuckleheads. No, this is the best work I have ever seen, hands down, end of story. Alright folks, so with the instruction manual opened here for the Xp-15, the first thing that I wanted to point out was something that was a little bit confusing for me. It says in the manual to operate the Pass Labs Xp-15 as a moving coil preamp, you may need to deselect moving magnet and select moving coil on. So that's this little dip switch right here. Makes perfect sense, right? So you're thinking, well, if I'm going to be running MC, then the MC dip switch always should be turned on. That is not true. Actually, if you are using a 66 decibel loading option, you actually turn MC off, okay, and then over here you are enabling G2 and G3 dip switches. Alright, so in a different section of the manual, I'm going to give some praise because they really put a lot of thought in helping you out if you are new to vinyl playback or you're not quite certain about, how these dip switches are actually going to reflect the loading options that you're actually looking for. Guys, they give you these fantastic graphs where you have an absolute easy way of setting everything up and being done with it. So I got to give some praise to Past Labs. In this section of the manual, I really think that this is going to help out a lot of people in being able to dial in the exact perfect sound for their particular cartridge. So thumbs up on that, definitely. All right, and finally in the manual, I wanted to just quickly cover that you also have graphs that will help you out in identifying different capacitance values, 100 PF, picofarads, all the way up to 750 with different dip switch configurations as well. So folks, firing up the Xp-15 for the very first time was pretty dang exciting. I have followed Past Labs for quite some time, and I've always wondered what their products bring to the table. Well, I'm here to tell you that if you're looking for a quick conclusion and a boatload of superlatives, you got it. The Past Labs Xp-15 is simply the best sounding phono preamp I have ever heard. The truth is, the unit sounds fantastic in every possible situation, with any and all cartridges that I have on hand. With the limitless combinations of loading options, I feel quite confident in saying that this would be a phono preamplifier that anyone can purchase no matter what cartridge they currently have or plan on buying in the future. Well done, Pass. Concerned about noise? Don't be. In my listening tests and comparisons with my very own JC3, I can assure you that the Past Labs is every bit as quiet and proved to me that regardless of the fine efforts of Parasound, there is obviously more than one way to skin a cat. Jumping into bass, the Xp-15 showed me that having bass around is one thing, but having bass with texture, resolution, and energy is a whole other story. The more that I listened to this bad boy, the more details started to pop out of nowhere, even in the deepest nether regions of kick drums, toms, timpanis, bass guitars, you name it, the Pass has you covered. Mid-range fans will be greeted with precise detail, pinpoint accuracy, and stunning realism. Vocals on anything ranging from the most intimate solo performance all the way up the ladder to arena rock sound spot on with plenty of details and not an ounce of graininess or harshness. Acoustic guitars pop with incredible detail and tone that is as real as it gets. Driving into treble territory, I found the Pass to be as perfect as I have ever heard. Anything on top, ranging from splashes to crashes to micro details of guitar strings, was every bit as good as the real thing. There were times when I simply forgot about the gear and all I was left with was the performance. And folks, that is what high fidelity is all about. Soundstage was both deep and wide as anything that I have ever heard, and there seemed to be greater depth with the Xp-15 than my very own JC3. While listening to a few classical pieces, I got a kick of being able to close my eyes and know exactly where people were sitting and actually hearing layers in the music with more realism than anything else I have ever heard. So folks, there you have it. The Xp-15 is a remarkable sounding phono preamplifier. I'd like to take the time to thank Desmond Harrington of Past Labs. Past Labs, thank you so much for sending out this amazing piece of equipment. We definitely appreciate it, and we absolutely welcome you to New Record Day. Anything else that you guys want to send my way, I would be happy to review for you. At the end of the day, what everybody would want to know is this. Does this thing deserve the Ron's Pick Award? Is this a piece of equipment that I would sell off my current, phono preamplifier for? Would I steal some little kid's lunch money or rob some banks for? Absolutely, all day long. Make no mistake about it. Thank you for stopping by. We definitely appreciate it. I will follow up on the New Record Day review page. You're going to be able to see a new layout. There's great ways of connecting with Past Labs through social media, so definitely do that, folks. I'm also going to have some high-resolution clips and also a video clip of some samples. You guys always request that. I'm going to give you what you want. Thank you so much for stopping by. Leave us the comments, shoot us the emails, and please subscribe. Take it easy. Peace. Thank you. How good is the lighting? All right, that looks really good. Thanks. Not sure about.
Change clothes.
Yeah.
You do it.
Trickery.
That is awesome.
It's trickery.
That is awesome. That is actually